Hello everyone, Silent here and welcome back to another Bedrock Edition tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to build a new and improved AFK fish farm for your Bedrock Edition worlds. This AFK fish farm is extremely simple, cheap, and easy to build, and it also works on all Bedrock Edition platforms. Since Bedrock Edition 1.13 broke my most recent AFK fish farm design, I decided to make a new and improved version for all of your guys' fish farm needs, just to keep you updated. So as you can see here, this is the entirety of the actual AFK fish farm. Extremely simple. Only a couple pieces of redstone and one trapdoor. And basically how you use this is you just need to stand on this block right here and then basically aim at that one, activate your fishing rod, and that will kind of like levitate mid-air, activating that tripwire. Whenever you catch yourself a fish, you can click again. That will actually catch yourself the fish, give you some experience, and as you can see, you can catch all kinds of amazing loot from this. Of course, you get all of the standard AFK fish farm drops, such as enchanted books of any type, including mending, other fishing rods, which might even be better than the one you're currently using, all the food you could ever need, and all kinds of other amazing drops as well. So as you can see, there is no form of precise aiming with this fish farm. You can aim anywhere on that block, activate your fishing rod, and that thing will just completely activate the farm and you are good to go. You can stand here for hours or days or years, just AFK fishing to your heart's desire. Now, one thing I will say is that this does rely on a bug. As you can see, the fishing bobber is floating mid-air, and this has to do with flowing water. This is very unlikely to be fixed anytime in the near future. It's already been in the game for about 6 months. But yeah, as you can see, the fishing bobber floats when in flowing water, which arguably shouldn't happen, but you know what? It makes it for basically the simplest AFK fish farm on Bedrock Edition, so we're gonna go ahead and use that. And honestly, even if this farm does break, it takes you about 20 seconds to build, so it's not really a big deal. And one more thing I need to say before we get into the tutorial is that this farm does rely on an auto clicker, just like all fish farms on the Bedrock Edition. We don't have truly AFK fish farms. You pretty much have to use an auto clicker. So I'll talk more about this at the end of the tutorial on how to install an auto clicker and all of that good stuff and the settings that you should use. But if you are on an Xbox or a Switch and you don't have access to an auto clicker, then I have another AFK fish farm, and this is a semi AFK fish farm design. Link to that video will be absolutely everywhere, but basically if you're playing on an Xbox or a Switch, this design will work. However, it won't be fully AFK, and you'll want to build this design instead. Alright, so let's hop into the tutorial, shall we? The materials that you'll need for this build are the contents of my hotbar, no more and no less. And of course, you'll also want a fishing rod, preferably the best one that you can get, Luck of the Sea 3, Unbreaking 3, Lore 3, and Mending if you can. If you don't have one of these, you'll get it pretty shortly from fishing, as you have seen earlier in this video. So when it comes to this AFK fish farm, this right here is going to be your AFK spot where you're actually using your AFK fish farm. And for these two blocks right here, you're going to need direct sky access all the way up to the sky. No pieces of glass, no blocks, no fences or signs or anything like that. You needed to be able to rain onto these two blocks. That way you get the highest efficiency from your fish farm and the most loot the quickest way possible. So make sure you have sky access for those two blocks. And from your actual AFK block, we're gonna go forward by a block, mine down by 2 over there, and down by 2 over there. We're going to install a double chest for some storage. Of course, you can expand that into whatever storage you'd like. We also need to place in a hopper going into the back of that and a hopper going into the top of the chest as well. Of course, you need to crouch in order to place hoppers going into the chest like so. From here, we need to go 2 blocks to the left from this spot right here. So 1 and 2, and then just get a block mid-air like so, and then do that on the other side, 1 and 2, and get a block up in the air. Overall, there should be a 3-block gap in between those 2 blocks. You want a tripwire hook on both of those along with a piece of string in between it. And now you can place down your piece of water, and this should flow directly into that hole right there. So now to finish up the farm, you want to place a piece of redstone dust right here on that block. 1 more block right there, an iron trapdoor inside of that water source, and now we need to finish it off by placing a redstone torch on the back of that block, and that should make that trapdoor go vertical. So now if we go ahead and actually pull out our fishing rod, we can cast it onto that block. It should go up, activate the tripwire hook, and then as soon as we catch something, it should either fall down in that hole or onto the ledge of this hopper, as you see there. And now we can wait up to a minute before we actually retract our fishing bobber and collect our first bit of loot. So our AFK fish farm is now completely done and dusted, and you can just go ahead and aim at that block, turn on your auto clicker, and we are good to go. I'm not pressing any buttons, the auto clicker is just going, and let's talk a little bit more about that. An auto clicker is basically just something that repeatedly clicks for you without you having to do anything at all, which is extremely convenient for these AFK fish farms. If you are playing on a PC, I will have a link to OP auto clicker. It's a very, very basic auto clicker, and that works for, PC devices. If you're on mobile, there is a variety of auto clickers or tappers in the App Store. And again, if you are on consoles, you don't really have access to one unless you build one, so that is why I would recommend that you build the semi-AFK fish farm. So when it comes to setting up your auto clicker, you of course want to set it to right click if you are on a computer, and you should also set it to at least 800 milliseconds of delay. That is about the quickest that you can have it for this particular design. Of course, if you're playing on a laggy realm or a laggy world, you'll need to make that delay a lot longer, up to about 1200 milliseconds or 1.2 seconds of delay for your clickage. Now let's go ahead and actually take a look at OP auto clicker so you can see what my settings are. As you can see, 800 milliseconds, right mouse button, and then your start key is literally whatever you want. It's extremely simple and there's really not much to it. However, I know some of you guys aren't familiar with auto clickers. So hopefully all of that stuff makes sense for you guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, then of course let me know in the comment section down below, as I'm always trying to help you guys out as best as I possibly can. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please do share it around with other people who you think might enjoy it as well, or maybe just leave a like, as that really does help out the video and the channel significantly. If you're new here and you want to see more tutorials like this in the future, be sure to subscribe, of course, and I'll see you all down in the comment section and in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and then there was silence.